Imagine checking your doorbell camera at night. Just saw a man standing in front of your door. There was a firearm hidden in his waistband. He casually says, "I," but you don't know who "I" is. Things only get worse as your pulse quickens. A second man sneaks out from behind the trash can. They walk up to your back door. Try to get in. This is not a movie, but it's a real scene in Toledo. Await these 10 creepy doorbell moments that will make you slam the door a little harder tonight. A Texan woke up one morning to find his back door wide open. The man was curious. He checked the cameras he had around the house, and this was a welcome sign. One man carried a knife and wore a clown costume complete with hat and mask. Walk through the room comfortably and test every door. This was definitely the case in all the doors. In 2016, with the killer clown frenzy lasting for months. Looking back, most people who participate enjoy trying to frighten people. But it cannot be denied that other people take advantage of the situation and attempts to commit serious crimes hidden under the mask of a clown. This may be the case. It was clear that someone in a suit was actually trying to break into the house with a knife. Although later it was not successful, but the clown will walk away eventually. And even if the police report, but that was the end. Ultimately, the homeowner would be left with nothing but this disturbing footage. This footage was taken in Colorado in the middle of the night. 3 mountain lions emerged from the darkness and began walking around the herd. They were even caught climbing onto the balcony of the house. Mountain lion sightings are known to be extremely rare in this particular area. They usually stay outside in the mountains where they can easily find the deer they prey on. Seeing them in crowded places, especially in the neighborhood, it wasn't a problem at all. At least at this point, the 3 cans finally walked away. But there is no doubt that things are changing. That would change if any homeowner let their pets outside at night. Or maybe they go out of the box. The first of these videos was taken at night at an apartment building on Toledo Road. The footage on the door shows a man pounding on the front door with what appears to be a gun strapped to his hip in the 1990s. Unbeknownst to the homeowner, that man, so I asked him who he was. An unknown man would answer only to me. The writer will then ask for more answers. But instead of explaining, he would offer the front door instead. However, that wouldn't be enough to get the homeowner to open the door. So you walked away. As he did so, a second man suddenly emerged from a nearby trash can and walked away irritably. But this will not be the end. The 2 then walked to the back door and tried to pick up the key. The police were called, and when they arrived, the 2 disappeared. Unfortunately, he was unable to open the door. It is not 100% clear how the 2 minutes were planned. The first man's nearly empty backpack indicates that they planned to rob the place. But it could also be that their motives are far more sinister. The pair have not yet been identified by police. This doorbell camera footage was taken in Overland Park, Kansas, in March 2017. Shown in the video is a smoldering fire near a home. A nearby house across the street was completely destroyed by fire. When the fire truck arrived, neighbors could be seen desperately trying to move their parked cars out of their homes. The pieces fell onto a pile of bubbles in front of the camera. The bubble quickly burst into flames. The fire began to spread quickly. But before the fire goes out, neighbors noticed and tried to put out the fire. He picked up a garden shovel and blew on the fire while pressing the latch on the door. However, the owner of the house was not home, and frantically tried to announce through the door speaker. The fire department was eventually able to extinguish the house fire, get help from neighbors, and prevent the fire from spreading to nearby houses. This video was uploaded by Doorbell News in September 2022. In this video, a man knocks on the door at 3 a.m. and keeps knocking. This man needs help. But now it's 3 a.m. and he has to leave. He asked the owner to come to the door and talk to him.
Excuse me, miss. Can you come talk to me, please?
There was no response from the homeowner. The man walked down the street and started looking for an elevator. Then he turned around and started knocking on the door. He became aggressive and started screaming. The homeowner called the police. I don't know what he's looking for, but it was a strange gesture. This historic video was taken just before 4 a.m. one night in April 2020. The video captures an unidentified man walking in front of a home and emptying gas tanks in the yard and front porch. Soon after, he disappeared behind the screen. A large firestorm then erupts in front of the camera. However, no one is injured during the incident. Unfortunately, 2 houses and 1 car will be destroyed. The driver will say that he doesn't know who is responsible or who would even consider doing this to them. At least from the outside, this action seems random for no reason at all. Makes the clip even more confusing. One night in September 2021, a homeowner suspiciously knocked on his door at around 3 a.m. If he turns on his phone and looks at the camera at his door, he must have seen 2 people posing as teenagers claiming to be CPD or the Columbus Police Department.
CPD, open up. We need to ask you a couple questions.
The video clearly shows the man in the front row holding a gun. And finally, people in the house will enter the camera's speaker door to ask more questions.
Can I help you?
CPD, we need to ask you a couple questions.
I'm sorry?
CPD, we need to ask you a couple questions. May you please step to the front door, please?
CPD.
Yes, this is CPD. We would like you to step to the door, please.
Can I see a badge?
We would like you to step to the door, please, sir. I don't have to show you a badge, sir.
The men refused to show the badge. Because he obviously didn't have a medal, the homeowner knew what was going on. So before stepping in the door, he actually called the police department and reported 2 gunmen on his doorstep. After a few minutes, the 2 tried again to get the homeowner to open the door. But it didn't work. And they ran away before the real police arrived.
CPD, open the door.
It is unlikely that the 2 of them were trying to rob the men when he opened the door. But I mean, they probably have more sinister motives in mind. There's no way to know for sure. The pair were never identified by police. In May 2018, a woman was leaving her trailer outside her home unlocked overnight. Unsurprisingly, someone would find the unlocked car door and steal several items belonging to the woman. Hours later, the men responsible for the robbery would be caught on the woman's doorstep. By trying to use her key, which he just stole, to unlock her apartment. All this while one of the homeowners was sleeping at home. But luckily the key he stole didn't have a house key, so the men walked away. If the house key had been in that set of locks, things would have ended differently. Camera footage from this doorway shows an unidentified man wearing a strangely disturbing mask. As he walked towards the door, his emotions will alert the camera to start playing. And that's when you see him grab the door, see it lock, and without a doubt knock on the door. The man waited only a few seconds before pulling his sleeve over his hand and wiping his fingers off the door handle before walking away. A few minutes later, the driver arrived at the door. And now he saw the opposite shore sitting in the car. When she shouted down to see what he wanted, he hurriedly left. The driver later said he didn't know who the man was or what he was doing there. The fact that he removed his own fingerprints from the door, this indicates that he likely gave those fingerprints to police at some point. It is not unreasonable to conclude that this man has committed some type of crime. Another thing to note is that someone's heavy item can be seen weighing in the front pocket. It is not clear what this is. And more importantly, it is not clear who this man is. This mask would ultimately result in police being unable to determine both the man's identity and his motives. In July 2021, Amanda Noik updated her Facebook with a shocking video. This video was taken at the ring gate. When he went to sleep, someone knocked on his door. When looking at the app, she saw a man with dark brown hair and a perfect brown beard knocking on her door and ringing the bell. Amanda didn't recognize the man, so she ignored the goose. But the stranger didn't believe her. Besides hitting him, he also repeats that he wants and has questions.
Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions. Are you sure? What? Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? Are you positive? Are you sure?
When she's home alone, she called her husband to tell him what had happened and called 911. Amanda's husband then used his phone's camera and saw the men. Ignoring her doesn't carry over, so he decided to talk to her through the speaker.
How are you?
What? Yeah? Are you sure?
Who are you?
Hey, I just had a couple questions. I just wanted to ask you about the TV show. Yeah, can you hear me? What I'm looking for is for the girl that's in the house to come out here because I'm going to take her in. You have her over the door? I'm racing the girl that's on the other side of the store and she lets me in. I want to rip her ears, but I have a knife. Done. And I'm gonna knock on the door again.
After threatening the girl with a cold voice, he left. It wasn't that he was afraid at all, it disappeared as the men walked calmly. He continued to talk to himself on the street. Amanda was very scared. But she was afraid that this man would go to another house and hurt someone. So he took this amazing photo and posted it on Facebook. And thanks to this Facebook post, the man was arrested. And there you have it, 10 thrilling moments caught on a front door camera. It reminds us that the world is unpredictable. Even outside the house, from masked aliens to mountain lions, these serious encounters make you think twice before paying attention to those late-night goosebumps. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, ring the bell, and stay safe. Because you never know what might happen on your doorstep next.